My guest tonight, of course, a very talented actor who played Schmidt on New Girl. He can currently be seen starring in The Neighborhood on CBS and the movie Promising Young Woman, which is in theaters and on demand, and it is absolutely amazing. Let's take a look.
I just thought that you were...
Drunk?
Yeah.
Really drunk?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not. But that's good, isn't it?
I think you should leave.
Oh, now you want me to leave?
No, I'm really high. Like, I'm really high right now. I don't know what I'm doing. I think you should go.
But a second ago, you were determined for me to stay. You were pretty insistent, actually.
I'm a nice guy.
Are you?
I thought we had a connection, I guess.
A connection? Okay. What do I do for a living? Sorry, maybe that one's too hard. How old am I? How long have I lived in the city? What are my hobbies? What's my name?
Okay, I'm a little confused. Max Greenfield is here. Max, that was Christopher Mintz-Plasse. You're not in that clip.
No. I'm very supportive of his work. And I insisted that you guys showcase it.
Because I've seen this movie. This is a terrific and powerful film.
Yeah.
You are in this film, as is Christopher Mintz-Plasse, and I'm glad that you're a fan.
Well, I mean, let's talk about Chris's turn on this film.
Is this what you do? You just like to go on and... Paul Rudd does this too. He comes on my show and he shows a clip that's not his and has been doing that to me.
Paul shows it from a totally different film.
I know, but I love that you've taken a new turn on it, which is I'll show a clip from the movie I'm in, just it won't have me in the clip. That's it.
Well, it's just how unselfish I am, Conan.
Wow. I've always heard that about you.
Thank you. That's what I'm known for. And now I'm stepping it up a notch.
Wow.
And if I'm ever in something, I want to showcase the other people.
Right. I'm sure he's thrilled. I'm sure he's thrilled that they're out there pushing him.
We're all thrilled to watch him.
Where are you right now? Are you obviously I'm in an abandoned theater. You are in your home. Beautiful painting behind you.
Thank you. This is a lovely artist, a friend of ours, John Brown. He's the king.
Yeah.
I am in my home.
Mm-hmm.
I should tell you now that at any moment, a dog or a child could interrupt our conversation, or if you hear noises, that's just what.
Right. It's okay. I've been dealing with that, and we welcome it. Sometimes it's delightful and kind of cute, and sometimes it's just, sometimes when someone says, my son may interrupt, it's cute when it's like a 3 or 4 year old. When it's a 32-year-old son who never moved out of the house, it just gets sad.
But it's also been 10 months of this, and I think we're past the cute point.
I think we are. So much to talk about. I've encountered you several times in the past, and I always go out of my way to tell you how I'm a big fan of yours. We all are in my family because you're such a funny performer. You're a hilarious performer. And I feel a little bad because normally if you were on my show, I would provide some kind of gift because that's what we try to do on these talk shows, And today it's just a Zoom call and nothing.
Well, there's no mug.
You get nothing. You get nothing.
Well, your show is one of the shows where I don't come for the mug. I want to be with you, and I love Andy, and I'm such big fans of you guys. When you talk about having watched New Girl now with your kids, and sort of discovering it, and you've said some very flattering things to me. It's very uncomfortable for me to hear because I remember going on your show for the first time and being like, I don't know how to do this show. These are two of the funniest human beings on earth. And, I think our instinct when you're around people that are just hands down funnier to you is just to be quiet.
Well, I remember you being very delightful and very funny. I remember you complaining a bit about the gifts. I'm curious about something.
Sure.
Of the talk show hosts, who has the best swag when you go visit?
Well, great question. Colbert, for sure.
Yeah.
See, now Colbert, like, you don't want to schlep to New York to do a talk show.
Right.
But Colbert, you sort of do because you know what you're going to receive when you get to your dressing room.
Yes.
Actually, let me take that back. You don't know what you're going to receive. You just know that it's going to be great.
I'll say this about Steven's show. This was my experience. The last time I went on that show and I walked into my room, I thought that I had won a game show. There was electronics. There was a fur coat, floor length, just incredible stuff. And I got very self-conscious because I realized when people come on our show, there's a mug that I don't even think it's a mug for our show. I think it's a mug from Alf from the 1980s. And then we give them some popcorn, some government issue popcorn. So I felt horrible because they really go all out. My cap's off to those people.
It feels like you're being re-gifted things that Stephen Colbert received, and you go, and you say to yourself, "Man, Stephen's got some really nice friends."
What we do at our show is we hoard stuff that we get from Stephen's show that other people haven't used, and we hang on to it, and mostly food. So it's food that we're giving away that's from Colbert's guest room, and it's 4 years old. But yeah.
But it's also like a beautiful Nantucket chocolate.
No, I know it's not fair. It's not fair, and once again, that man, I loathe him. But he knows that.
That's another reason.
Hey, you mentioned your family and how they're around and they're hanging around the house. I have 2 children. They're older than your kids. My kids are, sort of mid-teen age years. Your kids are how old?
Our daughter is just about to turn 11, and our son is 5.
Okay, here's a question I have. My kids at 17 and 15, their schoolwork is way beyond my comprehension. Now, if it's history, I can maybe help them out a little bit, or English. But in math and sciences, I'm humiliated because first of all, they would never go to me for help, but in no way can I comprehend what they're studying. Is your daughter at that level yet?
Oh, she was at that level 3 years ago.
Does I know that your daughter does she like reading? Is she a reader?
No. She is not. Yeah, she's not a reader. And I remember having a conversation with her, and she was like, she was telling me I knew she didn't like to read, and I was explaining to her,
right,
look, the only way to get better at reading is to read. And she fired back at me immediately, and she was like, well, is that why you're so bad at guitar? Because you don't play it that often. And I said, I play all the time. Uh-huh. And it really, it stung me in a way.
Yeah, because she wasn't saying it to be a burn. It sounded like she was just being honest about your guitar playing in a way that...
It also was one of those left hooks that you just don't see coming.
Yeah. Where
you go, look, I'm trying to help you and guide you through this as a parent. And she just was like, oh yeah. And the response was so natural and honest, and so biting, and affected me emotionally and my ego in such a way. It was a tough one for me to swallow because I'm just learning. I started playing guitar 2 years ago.
Oh, you only just 2 years. If you've only been doing it for 2 years, you can't be hard on yourself.
I am. I want to be good so bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because you play quite a bit. I'm assuming that you're in a position where you'll have to play. I think I've seen you having to play where you're with, you know, Slash or something. Or
I've had the opportunity to play with people, you know, who really who do it for a living. That's very humbling. Like if I played the times I've played with like a Jack White or a Beck or you know Billy Gibbons or anyone like that, I decide to, as much as possible, just stick with rhythm. Just stick with rhythm. And every now and then, it's almost like I can feel my ego getting the better of me, and then I'll step out and I'll try a little bit of lead and quickly remember, I'm a comedian. This is not what I should be doing. So, rhythm. Just stay in the pocket, do rhythm, and try not to. I try not to expose myself as this hack amateur. You know.
Yeah, I'll tell you a horrible story. My daughter is friendly with Tom Morello's child.
Oh wow!
And they go to school together, and I'm sure you know Tom.
Yeah,
he is one of the all-time coolest human beings on earth.
Great guy and an insane guitarist. Yeah,
and then also one of the greatest guitar players of all time. So, you know, our kids are playing together and they're always in like some sort of sport and we're on the sideline watching, and I just see him quite a bit. And my relationship with him predates me learning how to play guitar. And so I picked it up on the show, and as soon as I started really getting into it, I really got into it.
Right.
And was so excited. And had seen Tom a couple times, and all of a sudden, internally, my relationship to him changed, and I started looking at him in a much different way. So envious and aware that the connection that we had was not a real one. But anyway, I'm sitting with him one day, and I had made a note to myself mentally never to bring up that I play guitar,
right.
or that I'm just starting to learn. And we're sitting there, we're talking, we sort of run out of a conversation. There's not anything left. And, you know, clearly we're still going to be standing there. And in a real moment of weakness, I said, well, Tom, you're never going to believe this, but, and it just came, but I just started playing guitar.
Yeah.
And as soon as I said it, I knew it was a mistake.
Yeah. You're like, I'm a bit of a, just so you know, you're not the only guitarist in the room. I play a little as well. Yeah.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
So bad. And he was so nice about it, but it also was devastating. And then I was like, I felt bad for the rest of the day. I was like really beating myself up. And then much later, I'd say, I don't know, a month or so later, I see him outside the school, and he's sort of walking, and we're passing each other. And in this moment of greeting, he sort of goes, "Hey, man, how's the guitar?"
Yeah. I want to make sure that I talk about Promising Young Woman, because
yes, please.
This movie, it's a cliche to say there's a lot of buzz about this movie. There truly is so much chatter about this film, and I think it's a very hard film to categorize. It's mesmerizing. It's fantastic. All the performances are great, and it feels like a very important movie. And at the same time, there are moments that I thought were very funny, and then, of course, there are moments that are really harrowing and heartbreaking, and it's just beautifully done. It's really beautifully done.
Yeah, Emerald Fennell, who wrote and directed it, she is unbelievable. She had written the script, and I remember reading the script and being like, I don't know, I'm not even sure what the tone is of this movie. And I thought, and then they'd cast a bunch of people like Christopher Mintz-Plasse and Adam Brody and all these sort of comedic actors. And I thought, what is, like, I really didn't understand because it didn't totally read.
Right.
And then I had a conversation with her, and I was so blown away, and she was so focused and had such a clear vision of what this thing was supposed to be and really executed everything on every level. And I remember seeing the movie and going, oh my goodness. And the reason we could show a clip of me in the movie.
It's a spoiler.
Which I swear I'm in.
Yeah.
Is a spoiler. And yeah, it really, and I just can't say enough about her. And the same goes for Carey Mulligan, who's
amazing. Carey Mulligan's great, but I also think there was a decision, and when people see the movie, they'll understand. But Bo Burnham's in it. All these, and you are cast in it. And what happens is you get so many very funny, likable guys that we already know and like and think are funny, and then they're put in this context that almost takes advantage of the fact that we're familiar with you and we like you, and turns it on its head, which I thought was very powerful. Yeah,
there's been an interesting reaction. Some people totally get it, and then there are other people who watch the movie specifically with the scenes that I'm in, and think, I don't understand why you would put somebody like Max in the movie.
Yeah.
Because the scene is so dramatic. Why would you take a comedic actor and put him in there? It somehow makes the scene almost come across comedic.
Well, I was blown away by this movie. People should watch it. Promising Young Woman is now in theaters and available at home on demand. And people should watch it, and I think people will watch it because the word of mouth is insane. Plus, new episodes of The Neighborhood air Mondays on CBS. Are you guys able to be shooting that now, or is it still impossible?
Yeah, we're back up. We've been really fortunate we'd be able to do the show, and we've shot quite a few episodes at this point.
That's great.
It's really exciting. So hopefully we can finish that out. And it's been wonderful.
That's great. Thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you. I so appreciate it.
And thank you for making a gift of that painting behind you. Just have it sent to my home.
Look at that. You can get one. Do Colbert. I'm sure it'll be there.